Welcome to the 210 Fearless Youth Sports Show. I am Coach Sadiq. And today's topic is Team First, the dark side. Now, to get right into it, we teach this early from the Pee Wee Leagues, whatever sport it is, we teach it early that Team First is the way to go. The team first is the standard because if you're playing a team sport, of course, we're not talking about individual sports at this particular juncture, but as far as team sports are concerned, uh, if you're playing a team sport, we teach you team first. Now, the reason we do that is because you win as a team, you lose as a team. Now, individual players can and will make mistakes, cost the team the game. But basically, you start the game as a team, you end the game as a team, and individual mistakes will happen. Team mistakes will happen. Coaches will make bad calls and mistakes. Okay, so with that being said, team first is really positive because what it does, it puts you in a very positive mindset. It puts you in a very positive mindset. We live in a social society. Human beings are social beings, so therefore, to be of the team first mentality puts you in a better air for future endeavors also as youth and children. To quote the late great Whitney Houston, children are our future. Okay, so with that being said, um, it produces a very positive mindset of selflessness. You want to put the team before self, even. Although you're part of the team, the mechanism, you're spoke in the will, you want to put the team first if you're part of a team sport. That shows selflessness, concern from others. Again, we live in a society and we are, as human beings, social. So that's from children on up. Okay. So you may have, as an athlete, talking about your children. I don't know if any children are watching right now, but as far as children are concerned, they have individual goals. Even parents have goals for their children. Okay, so you have your individual goals, but you're playing a team sport, so there's a balance there. There's a balance there. Okay, um, the you want to be in situations to expose your talents. Okay, I've met people that never played professional sports that were like the most athletic freaks I have ever seen. I've heard people sing that were not professional singers. I'm like, why aren't you making records? I've heard rappers, and I mean that'll clown anybody that's on, on wax. We say on wax, right? Anybody in the studio now professionally, for us industry. But nevertheless, it's about exposure. So in this social media age, children will benefit from parents putting videos, professional, semi-professional, prosumer camera type capture videos of their child to give them some exposure. You can sing the best. If nobody hears you sing, then that's what it is. You can have the best product as an inventor or an entrepreneur, but if no one sees your product, no one knows your product exists, then you know what is the point, right? So no one will purchase it or use your services. Nevertheless, you want exposure to your individual talents, okay? And like I say, this is team first, the dark side. So we're gonna talk about the dark side of team first. Now, pee wee ball. We're talking about when they're babies, right? Basically, I call kids babies. So excuse me, uh, preteen or even into their early teens. Okay, so in pee wee ball, if there are five good running backs or five good runners, five good receivers, a couple of good quarterbacks, most likely that coach on that level is going to allow them to give them some shine. He'll give them some shine, allow them to show their talents when the lights are on. So many times we have, quarterbacks throwing against pure air. No actual rush, no fear of being hit. They're red shirted, so on and so forth. So, with that being said, we don't see them under fire or in the fire to show. And I call it when I take my quarterbacks through the machinations. I say, okay, now we're going to put you in the fire. Okay, I get me a good point guard. I put him in a full court 2-on-1. You know, I want to see if you can handle, if you can make those defenders skinny. I call it making them skinny. Things like that. Turn them into one. Make them line up. When the press is coming, you attack the high guy. You attack that guy and get on his outside. So on and so forth. So anyway, that's another thing. But so in Pee Wee ball, with the youth ball before school, um, if there are several good runners, then most likely the coach is going to run them. He's going to use his wheels. Uh, if quarterbacks, he's going to use their arms. I know you got to have a QB1, QB2, so on and so forth. You might have a thing where you go first half, second half. If all things being equal, uh, I don't think mentality is always equal. So you might want to use that as something to differentiate between the quarterbacks. But if you got excellent receivers, I mean, they're all going to be, your check down. You got your high to your low, low to high. Whatever the read is, right? Whatever coach says how to read, uh, then whatever happens. Pee wee ball, you're gonna get your chances. Now, let's say you're a good quarterback and the team has a good quarterback, then you may not get under center or behind center. You may not. Okay, so uh, as a youth, we need to train our kids for multiple positions so that they will actually see the field. If you're going to train them just as quarterback, what happens? What happens in the college now? Okay, what even happens in high school sometime? You're a very good quarterback, but they have a quarterback. So what are you going to do? You're going to transfer. You're going to use your aunt's address to go to another school that you're better than that quarterback, and you can show them in drills and practice. In college, you're going to transfer because they already have their stock at running back, and you'll never see the field. So you can have all this good talent. It's only going to show in practice. You'll have all this good talent. It's only going to show while you're on the bench. And I can sit the bench with the best of them. So if I'm on the bench, I can't show you any field talent. So anyway, so in Pee Wee ball, generally you have opportunity because coach is trying to win. Coach is really, really trying to win. It's not about the individual. It's about the team, and coach is really trying to win. So if you can help the team, then coach will give you opportunity more than likely. This is general speaking. I'm not talking about the anecdotal matters or anecdotal instances. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about in general. Okay. So anyway, with that being said, you go to you use again Pee Wee youth ball, AAA. I mean AAU. Excuse me, I say AAU ball. If you these teams generally have, if you got a good system, they have heavy practice and high competition. Lot of tournament AAU teams. So it's heavy practice and high competition, and play time is not a given. So you got to work your way in, and because basketball teams are not as loaded as a football team could possibly be, 11 players on a basketball team is probably a good cap for youth ball. If you're just having too many, if you're signing up 20 kids on a basketball team when only 5 are on the court, you don't have an offense, defense like in football. Offense in basketball, offense turns to defense, defense turns to offense at the blink of an eye. So with that being said, you don't want too much overkill because you want your kids to actually have an opportunity to get on the court if they work their way onto the court. Okay, people get tired, people get injured, God forbid. You can see your way on the court. So if a team has 20 players on the sideline in AAU ball, money grab, because you can actually start 2 teams. You can actually start 2 teams with 20 kids, but that's a money grab. That's another topic. Okay, so heavy practice, high competition, playtime not given. You got to work your way onto the court. If the team knows you would benefit them, they would not sit you except for attitude. Okay, if your attitude's bad, that's the only thing that get in the way if your talent is right and correct and sufficient. Okay. Nevertheless, move on higher than that. You got middle school ball, things like that. Middle school is one thing I did for my son, who's is a senior now, play for Brennan, number 11. One thing I did for him is that middle school, he did only 7-on-7 flag. Okay, his off season when Brennan's not playing ball, he does 7-on-7 flag. And in middle school, we went all flag. We went flag and soccer, flag and soccer. He did play basketball in middle school. Come to think of it, okay. So, but he was, basketball's not his chosen sport, But nevertheless, what happened was he did soccer and he did flag football, and we purposefully went from pee wee ball, Typhoon, Najif, so on and so forth, to you know. Uh, middle school flag, soccer, so on and so forth. And I was one of the coaches on his middle school team even. And then he went straight back to tackle. Okay, now some are saying that, well, someone told me that they said, well, he would have got a lot, not a lot, but some exposure as middle school tackle, and coaches would have put him in his more desired position. I'll mention what that is. And I said, yeah, that might be true, but I mean, all praises due to God, but he's not injury prone. He's been hurt. The first game against Brennan, he had a contusion on his quad, a quad contusion. He came home after the game. His leg looked like a I think it was his right leg. It looked like a watermelon. So he got that in the first quarter, and he played the whole game hurt. I mean, really, like big, looked like a watermelon on his leg. Thigh is already big, but looked like a watermelon set there. It was so swollen. When it's swollen, you lose the definition, right? And that's how I knew it was really swollen. So, with that being said, and the coach, gave him the ball the last run of the game. Coach gave him the ball. Number 42 still came out and tackled him. The Samoan kid, with no blocking. They didn't block the best tackler on Brennan. It was crazy. I mean, on a steal, but that's another discussion. Nevertheless, middle school ball is its own animal. If you're good, especially coming out of pee wee ball, coaches really appreciate kids that play pee wee ball, because you come into middle school ball, which is for most kids, a lot of kids, that's the first time they actually see a football field get into tackle. Okay, so if you're good, coach is gonna play you. I know that for a fact. If you're good, coach is gonna play you in middle school ball. Middle schools usually are not so stacked where you can't find the field if you're a true athlete or you have some skill. So we go into high school ball, and I'll mention pee wee ball. That's the most care you'll get for your individual aspirations. That's the most care that you'll get is in pee wee ball for your individual aspirations. When you get into I'm talking about pee wee. When I say pee wee, I'm talking about AAU also. I know AAU goes up into the high teens and things like that. But at the same time, middle school ball, I think there's a lot of care there in middle school ball, caring about your individual aspirations. Coach, I'm really a running back, coach. Okay, well, let's see what you got. Okay, you get into high school ball. High school ball is when you start to see the I don't care aspect of team ball. You start seeing the darker side of team ball. I don't care. Now, going back to pee wee ball, a lot of parents said, "Nah, I seen some dark side in pee wee ball, but my son was an excellent yada yada yada, and the coach wouldn't play him." Some said the coach wouldn't play him because I wouldn't, give in to the coach's advances. All kind of different stuff. Parents have different viewpoints sometimes than the coach if you ask him or her. But nevertheless, they say, well, I've seen the dark side. My kid can get on the field because of this, because of that. My kid was talented. Well, I'm gonna tell you from a parent that is a coach. Sometimes we think our kids are better than what they are. My kid can throw. I knew there was a kid. I didn't have a quarterback. A kid said he was a quarterback, and he used to put his pointer finger on the back tip of the ball. Now, any coaches, they'll know what I'm talking about. And he threw like that. Now, short passes, I think that'll work. But when you go into the deeper, you got to have your fingers on the laces so you can flick that ball. You can get the spiral. When they say Wilson, 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 when the ball Spalding, when the ball is spinning, Nevertheless, say he was and I didn't have a quarterback. My son knew the system. I said my son's the quarterback. So they were kind of tight about that, saying, no, my son was not a quarterback. He didn't listen, didn't follow directions well. I tried to tell him how to hold the ball. He wouldn't hold the ball like I told him to. At times, I stuck him in at quarterback. You know, when the game was out of reach, we were on top. I would stick him in as quarterback, so on and so forth. And you know, and I everything I saw in practice is what I saw in the game. So anyway, that's a coach viewpoint, different than parents. Some parents, my kids, I'm hard on my kids. I'm like, you know, my son will have a monster game, and I say, what happened here? Why'd you miss that tackle? How did he get past you on the sideline? What did you do? You know, I'm talking about that type stuff. You know, I'm not interested in all of that because you ain't made it yet. And when you make it, I'm still gonna be on you. I'm gonna be watching the NFL. God willing, if you make it, I'll be like, what happened here? Why you missed that sack? Why did you, you know, why didn't you cut inside? Why did you run out of bounds? You know, you had a lot of real estate there. You know. Anyway, so with that being said, when you get into high school, you'll get into the I don't care. You'll go into the dark side of team first. Okay, you'll go into the dark side, and what I mean is that you can show your talents in tryouts and camps and things like that, preseason things. My son he likes to bang. He's a natural running back. He's like I would say he's like Derrick Henry. And you say, well, you're saying it as a parent. No, I'm talking about his ability to stiff arm, the strength. He has a lot of strength, the strength that he has to throw off a would-be tackler, and he loves to run the ball. He's not. When I say Derrick Henry, here's something. He's not the fastest. He don't have the fastest feet. He has a long stride. So if he gets 2 steps, he's going to get 5 yards. He need 2 steps. He's going to get 5 yards. You know, that's just how he. And Derrick Henry's not the quickest. You know, he's not Shady McCoy. You know, with the quickness, he is a couple of steps, and he's going up the field like, you know, giant style. You know, 3-5-4 So again, he wants to be a running back. Now, him going to his coach saying, "Hey, coach, can I get some touches at running back?" No, we got a running back. And the coach will become annoyed if you ask them too many times, which we understand because you're trying to run a system. You're trying to run a system, and you don't want those individual questions. You want questions that kind of benefit the system. So we understand that. So with that being said, uh, uh, my son's an outside linebacker. He loves to run the ball, and he's not going to get any opportunity. I'm saying at Brennan, he's not going to get opportunity to run the ball, and that's not a problem at all. Uh, team first, team first. So the coaches really don't care uh, what your position is that you love. Now, I'm the type of coach. When I first meet you, I'm gonna say, "What position did you play?" You know, they tell me. I say, "What position do you like? And what position are you good at? Which one do you actually like?" You know, and I had a kid recently tournament game. He said, "Coach, I'm not defensive tackle anymore." I said, son, I said, I need you to touch the quarterback. I need you to threaten to touch the quarterback. I need you to hit the gap, push that guard, you know, on the quarterback's lap. I need you to get back there. If you're not penetrating that offensive line, I say I can't use you. I got stronger, more swifter guys that could get inside. And this kid was big, but he didn't have the necessary skill set that I prefer. Maybe it's my fault. I'll put it on me. But I said, I know you love this position, son. I said, but I'm gonna have to put you on the offense. I got to put you at guard. You know, with your size, it makes it difficult on them. Okay, and in the game actually, I did put him at defensive tackle. You know, I say, look, you gotta make some waves, man. You gotta penetrate. You know. So anyway, with that being said, in high school, you're not gonna pick your position. They're gonna put you in a certain position. Now that takes me to college. Okay, college is another really I don't care. You know, if you're going to Alabama's known for running backs. So if you're going to in quarterbacks, but running backs especially, if you go to Alabama, you may not. You may be a really good running back, but you're gonna be behind that D1 running back. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be behind that 5-star a recruit or what have you. So anyway, then you'll be transferring. I know a quarterback that's transferring because he can't see the field. He's trying to find a school where he can actually show his talents. Maybe at a JUCO, maybe at something that's less prestigious like not Incarnate Word, yeah, Incarnate Word maybe or something. I don't know. Anyway, with that being said, college is also an I don't care from the coach perspective because I don't know if it's better than high school or not, but you got camps and you got trials, you got preseason. you gotta make your bones there. You gotta show them what you have there with opportunity. They got this camp for this camp for that. Say, coach, can I bounce over to the running back camp? You know, I want to show something. Okay. Now, if they need a running back or you're better than the one they have, that's how you're going to get in. But if you're not better than the one they have, or you, all things being equal, you might be a last resort. I think Lake Travis lost their starter. I think they had actually had a tight end come in at quarterback, and then they had the other guy come in at quarterback, and he looks like a starter. He wasn't the starter. Number 12 for Lake Travis, he was not the starter. This boy looks like a starter. He's composed. He runs the ball. He's a double, triple threat, you know, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that boy looks like a starter. He don't look like a backup. Now Brennan quarterback looks like a backup. He looks like the backup quarterback looks like a backup. This Lake Travis, I don't know if he was third on the depth chart or second, but he looks like a starter. That boy could start at a lot of schools. Okay, but nevertheless, you know, proud of that young man, even though I don't even know him. Okay, so in college, you're almost like I said, the position that you are in where they need you. It's team first. Again, it's a wonderful concept to teach children, but see, when you go into high school, you're looking for college, and when you go into college, you're looking for the pros. Now, speaking of the pros, once you're drafted, your individual aspirations open up. You can be drafted as a defensive end. Look at Derrick Henry, you know, defensive end built, tight end built, you know, you can be drafted there, but you can go to the NFL and say, hey, look, I probably can do you better than that running back. Oh, to competition open up. You got the Oklahomas, things like that. Competition open up. You can say, ooh, okay, well, you pretty good. You pretty good. You pressing dudes off of you. You know what I'm saying? Off the tackle. You hurdling dudes, so on and so forth. So again, trucking dudes, whatever. Okay, so the pros, it opens up again because you know you can find a new niche. Now, also going from college to pros, what happens to the college players? They play one position in college, and pros say, now we need you here. Now we look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is a very good quarterback. When he was about to be drafted, I think his mother was his agent. If I'm not mistaken. He said, we're going to draft you as a receiver. He said, no, I'm a quarterback. His mama said, my son is a quarterback. If you're going to draft him or try to play him as anything else, don't draft him. He's not going to play. He's a quarterback. And he is indeed a quarterback. Okay. There's the stigma with black quarterbacks, but we're not going to get into that. But nevertheless, he is indeed a quarterback. Okay. He's a quarterback. So his mom said he won't play if you draft him as any other position in quarterback. We're going to hold out. You know, we're going to hold out. So he gave him quarterback, and he's very, very good. Okay. So with that being said, the pros, you can move around a little bit, even though you played away in college. You go to the pros, they'll put you where they need you, but you have ample opportunity as a grown man to find a niche that you're better, you know, at certain position for the team and team wise. So the solution, we're dealing with youth basketball. The solution is there are two sides of the court. Offense turns into defense, and defense turns into offense at the blink of an eye. So, you know, man, look, if coach keep calling plays for his gunners, you know, his shooters, his hoopers, then go heavy on the defense. Make a niche for yourself. Look at Rodman. You know, Patrick Beverly. I don't know if he's being traded. I heard something today. I'm not even sure if it's true. But Patrick Beverly was trying to find a place in the league, and he wasn't getting as many calls or looks as he wanted. And someone told him, I think a fellow player, former player or active player, told him, hey, man, you need to get your defense up. Go heavy on defense. Everybody looking for defense. So he started working on his defense, and then he developed a reputation for having good defense. Some say it was really fluff, but I don't know how you can fake defense. I don't know how you can do that. Either you're effective or you're not. You steal balls, you don't. I think he was stealing balls. So nevertheless, that's how you get in. Show your value on both sides of the court. Don't just try to be a point guard all the time, but play defense also. Be a guard, a lockdown, you know, a lockdown of the guard on the other team. Nevertheless, we had an instance. So we're doing tryouts, and then we went from tryouts to practices. Football, right? Tackle football, and we're working on offense, not on defense. So I said, hey, some of you guys that are waiting for your reps on offense, come play DB, come play linebacker, come play this. Everybody's tackle football. Everybody got to know how to tackle. Okay. It includes quarterbacks and kickers. You got to know how to tackle. Okay. Some of the hardest hits came from kickers, man. I love those highlights. So what happened was they over there hiding behind, the guy in front of them. I said, okay, I see what's going on. Everybody want to be on offense. Defense wins championships. Okay, so when it was time to do defense, they came over, coach. Oh, put me out. I'm a DB. I'm a DB. I said, where were you when I was asking for DBs? So I put them. I put them on a depth chart. I had 1, 2, 3. I had my starter, and I had my second, third, and fourth option at DB. I did it for my linebackers. I did it for my safety, so on and so forth. So the one that was more eager to come forward, they had dibs. They had dibs. So nevertheless, I've talked enough, but to get to the main part of it, team first is a noble concept. It's a good way to raise children to be selfless, and stuff, so on and so forth. But at the same time, team first has a dark side when you get up, when scouts actually are looking at you in high school and looking at you in middle school. We played a couple of kids from Louisiana. They were D2 recruits. They were already recruiting them out of middle school. So anyway, eighth grade, whatever. So nevertheless, team first, noble. It's a noble concept. You have to have it if you're playing a team sport. You have to have it. Okay. Um, team first, team sports require a team first mentality in order to function, in order to win, to be successful. Okay, as a team, uh, coaches are trying to win. Okay, coaches are trying to win. Not a lot of coaches will ask you what position do you like to play. Coaches will ask what position did you play? What did you play? Are you any good at it? They may not ask you what you like to play because you might have a big guy and you may say, what you like? I'm a quarterback. Nah, you ain't no quarterback. You want to stick him on the line. Well, I would play him at quarterback if he was a good quarterback. I would play him at quarterback. Got to be mobile, got to waggle. If he can waggle, he can, he can spin out. Uh, you know, he got some elusiveness. Like a Roethlisberger. The DBs used to run in on Roethlisberger, a corner blitz, or the linebackers get out the outside and grab him, and Roethlisberger just stand there and still throw the ball like he was like a statue in his prime years. Big individual, so built like a tight end. I wouldn't want to not put him at quarterback. He was a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Not because of his size. No, you're not a quarterback. No, I wouldn't do that. But coaches are really trying to win, and it may seem like they are putting your child second and putting team first. Well, it's not about putting your child second. Your child is part of a team. If they can show their worth, again, as a trainer, I encourage parents to get with a trainer. I do not charge for the initial. Sometimes I don't charge at all, but I don't charge for the initial. Get with a trainer. Get your child assessed. Okay. Don't look at your child with parental eyes, because those parental eyes are like really, really dark shades, and you're going to see the dark side of team first. My child doesn't get any playing time. Why my child don't get to play? Well, you playing for a no minimum league. You play for a no minimum league, meaning that your child don't have to see the field. Okay. Now, when the game is on the line, uh, fourth quarter, man, in the fourth quarter, fourth period, that's really crucial. It's really, really crucial. The ninth inning, really, really crucial. Okay. So your child may not see the court. So get your child that extra training. And as I mentioned before, you may have a point. Okay. There's a child that I got. I forgot how many I'm training now. I got a few I'm training now. I got 3 new additions recently within the last couple of days. Got a call today, and I got a text yesterday. I got 3 new addition kids, minimum 3. I think maybe more coming. But nevertheless, I'm gonna take them through an initial assessment. What position do you play? Which one do you like to play? So you got dual positions. Okay, cool. We're gonna work on the muscles and the speed and the movement that you need for these both of these positions. I'm gonna take, some are younger, some are, 8th grade, whatever. But this is what we're gonna do. Uh, get that initial, say, look, I can't afford the training. I need somebody to look at my son. Okay, I'll gladly do it. I'll come to where you are. Gas is not an issue. I'll come to where you are to look at him, to make sure, I want him happy. Okay, I want him happy. And happiness is knowing that somebody cares, that uh when the kid took the kid, another kid, this one of the last examples I'll use, the kid said, I said, what position did you play? Say defensive end. And I already watched him in practice. Okay, I watched him in the tryouts. I watched him in practice. He said I was defensive end. In my mind, I'm like, what coach put this child at defensive end? In my mind, not to the child. Okay, uh, and then he's like, hey coach, am I gonna get some reps at defensive end? I said it's possible, man. If the game is, out of reach, we're up. I said I'll put you in. I said if we're down, I'm not gonna put you in with the monsters that are beating us as a really good team. I say, I'll work you in, but right now we got this guy as starter. This guy is the depth chart. He's 2. Okay, he's the backup. So you're going to be 3rd if and I'll try to work you in, man. But I can't promise you anything because we have to win. We're trying to win. But anyway, children tell me positions, and I'll be like, I can make you that. I'm gonna take the best. Sound arrogant. I could work with you to try to make you that your desired position. I can make you better at what your school, because he said school is using him as defensive end. So I can make you better at the position your school is using you at. Let's put it like, I know I can do that. That's not arrogant. But I can't make you something that you just want to be if you don't have the mechanicals for it. So again, team first, noble concept, teaches selflessness. It's something that kids need to know. We live in a society, we're social beings. But there's a dark side. There's a dark side. You have individual aspirations. Don't worry about it too much in Pee Wee ball. Don't worry about it too much in middle school. When you get into high school, you got to play where they play you, or you want to transfer. You got to play where they play you. Have a understand with the coach. Look, I want to come to your school. These are my talents. Here's some of my old footage if you have it. This is what I like. This is the position I like to play. I'll play wherever you need me, but I like to play this position. Or whether you say you play whether he needs you or not. Okay, I'll play this position. Or this is what I like to play. If coach can't give you a commitment to it, then you might want to move around, because see, now you get into where scouts are watching. Scouts are looking at you. Usually at freshmen, they give freshmen opportunity. They'll put you on defense first and second. See, we used to play on both sides of the ball in youth ball, but you get in high school, they'll put you first, second down defense, and third, fourth down they'll rest you. So when the first, second down offense goes in, then your legs are fresher. Okay, you got a breather. You got a squeeze and you got to blow. So with that being said, that's the dark side of team first. Your individual aspirations may go to the wayside, but you really shouldn't worry about that until really high school, college, and when you get in, if you get into the pros, which is slim to none, you get into the pros, then you got a little more flexibility to move around and find a position of your dreams. If you can benefit the team at whatever position, even a kicker. Remember, Chad Ochocinco actually kicked the field goal. Remember that. He told his coaches, man, I always want to kick the ball. The game was out of reach. He said, go ahead, Ochocinco. He kicked that ball right through the uprights. He made it. So that's all that I have. I pray that I made sense. To me, I sound like I made sense. But, I mean, to you, I probably sound like gibberish. Anyway, this has been Coach Sadiq for 210 Fearless Youth Sport Show. I am out.